You know, a lot of people would say the same about how could somebody successfully win the presidency who had never been engaged in politics, and my father did that.
Is she the dumbest person?
I'd be hard-pressed to find someone dumber.
Night at the Silverleaf Club in Scottsdale was meant to be elegant and exclusive, not explosive. Ivanka Trump arrived at the private fundraiser glowing with confidence, surrounded by wealthy donors and political strategists. The wine flowed, the laughter was polite, until the conversation shifted.
Ivanka and I said, first I'm going to start off by saying, notice my shoes, because they are from the Ivanka Trump collection.
Looking good.
And you were wearing who, Ivanka Trump?
Head to toe.
Head to toe, Ivanka Trump. So we are really excited to be having this conversation.
Someone mentioned Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a rising Democrat from Texas, known for her sharp tongue and fearless presence. The room chuckled dismissively, and then Ivanka leaned back, smiled slightly, and said the words that would change everything. She's ghetto trash. That's all she is. A few nervous laughs followed, but not everyone joined in.
Something that people have, historically black colleges, something that people have been trying to get done for ages. The amount of work that we've accomplished in a very short period of time is just remarkable. And that's where our focus is. That's where our priorities are leading us to deliver on promise after promise.
Someone quietly recorded the moment. By morning, the audio had leaked. By afternoon, it was everywhere. The headline spread like wildfire. Ivanka Trump allegedly calls Representative Jasmine Crockett ghetto trash at private fundraiser. Within hours, it was the only thing America was talking about. In her Washington office, Jasmine read the headline in silence.
You know, I think that it's fair that, people are like, yo, this is a joke, right?
Her aide, Andre, handed her the phone. She didn't raise her voice or call for damage control. She simply said, so, she thinks I'm trash. Then after a pause, schedule me on MSNBC tonight. Andre hesitated, warning her that they'd call her angry, emotional. She just nodded. Let them. I've been called worse, but I've never been silent.
To have her go on Fox News and to then decide that she wanted to send a threat, it was wrong.
That night, live on national television, Jasmine Crockett didn't rant. She didn't shout. She looked straight into the camera and spoke with calm precision. When you say ghetto trash, she said, what you really mean is, you don't belong in the room. Ari, but the problem is, they can't keep the door shut anymore, so they try to shame the people walking through it.
In this country, and people are watching and they are consuming this information and they are believing that simply because I decided that I wanted to exercise my right to free speech, which I am not abridged from doing.
Her voice never wavered. If being unapologetically black and honest makes me trash, then America needs to ask itself who took out the garbage before me. The segment lasted 4 minutes. It became the clip that broke the internet. By the next morning, millions had watched it. Classrooms played it. Celebrities reposted it. A single mother in Indiana said, they called us ghetto too. But look now, she speaks for people like us. Donations to Jasmine's campaign tripled in 2 days. Teachers sent thank you letters. Voters who'd never cared about politics began paying attention. A woman from Florida wrote, I used to vote red, but the way you spoke, calm, real, I've never seen that before.
Maybe with those that say have constitutional authority, since we care about the Constitution, then maybe we could have saved the American people not only money, but the lives that are now at risk as we have to put out warnings for American citizens in this country and abroad.
Meanwhile, Ivanka stayed silent. Her social media stayed polished, perfect, and tone deaf. But silence in politics isn't power, it's surrender. Donors began to panic. Some pulled their money. Others issued statements condemning her alleged remarks. By the weekend, the scandal had grown beyond her control. What began as one careless insult was now a national reckoning. Jasmine, however, stayed grounded. She turned the noise into purpose. At a small town hall in Florida, she said, they say I should be grateful just to be at the table, but they forget we built the table. The crowd erupted.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? This is not America. This is a terrible nightmare.
If the price of honesty is being called trash, she added, then I'll keep taking out the garbage. That line alone became a movement. Hashtags trended for days. We're not trash. Chashan Crockett claps back. TikTok users remixed her words into graduation videos and courtroom wins. America had found a new kind of voice. Calm, sharp, undeniable. As Jasmine rose, Ivanka's world cracked. Private donors pulled funding. Invitations were canceled. A few former Trump insiders began talking. One woman, a former event planner, reached out to Jasmine privately. She confirmed Ivanka's words and revealed even worse ones. Comments Ivanka made afterward about Jasmine being loud, dumb,
Is she the dumbest person?
I'd be hard pressed to find someone dumber.
and playing victim. Jasmine didn't leak it. She used it strategically, quietly letting powerful donors know that the full truth was coming. Within days, more defections followed. Ivanka's image, once polished and untouchable, was now corroded from within. While Ivanka's silence deepened, Jasmine's dignity only grew. She refused endless interview requests saying, "The clip speaks for itself." When reporters shouted for comment, she simply replied, "Watch it again." Her calm became her power. The nation had seen politicians yell before, but never dismantle hate with grace. Polls began to shift. Independent voters said they trusted her honesty. A Republican donor admitted on record, "I may not agree with her politics, but I believe her." When Congress convened a hearing titled Rhetoric and Responsibility in Political Leadership, Jasmine was invited to testify. The Senate chamber, cold and echoing, went silent as she began. "I am not here because of an insult," she said. "I am here because of what that insult represents, who it targets, who it excludes, and who it protects." She paused. "They didn't call me ghetto trash because I lack worth. They said it to remind people like me that no matter how far we climb, some will still see us as disposable." She looked directly at her critics. "I don't need an apology. I need accountability." When asked if she believed the system was biased, she replied calmly, "I'm not suggesting it, Senator. I'm living proof." The room fell into stunned silence. Outside, cameras swarmed her, asking if Ivanka should apologize. Jasmine said, "She can or she can't. Either way, I'm fine." And when asked if she was using this for political gain, she smiled. If speaking the truth earned something, maybe that truth was long overdue. Back in her office, Andre handed her a box of fan mail. One envelope held a friendship bracelet from a little girl in Savannah. "It's for strength," the note said. Jasmine slipped it on and whispered, "This is bigger than a headline. This is legacy." That legacy had begun in one careless sentence, whispered in a private room. But it ended with millions hearing a new kind of truth. Jasmine Crockett didn't just defend herself. She redefined what power looks like when it wears dignity instead of armor. And while Ivanka's silence faded into irrelevance, Jasmine's voice became something louder than outrage, something lasting. The words once meant to break her had built a movement, and as Jasmine looked out at the Capitol dome that night, she knew power wasn't in the insult, it was in the answer.